Hello, dear year for designers. I've washed my hands, I've cleaned the surfaces, I've rolled up my sleeves, I've tied my hair up. And I'm going to show you a few safety tips. The first thing we're going to need to know is about our chopping board. If you look at your chopping board, you'll see it's got two sides. One side is matte and one side is shiny. If you listen, you can hear there's a difference. So the shiny side is much louder and we want the shiny side facing up. Because if the shiny side is down, it slips around. But if the matte side is down, it doesn't move so much. And this makes it safer for when we use our knives. So these are real knives for real cooking and they can really hurt us. So we need to be safe with them. Few tips. First of all, do not walk around the room while carrying a knife. Never hold it as a dagger shape and never wave it around while you're talking. Always leave it on your cutting mat with the guard on when you're not using it. Let's have a look inside. The blade is sharp. You don't hold it by the blade at all. You hold it by the plastic there and you hold it just at the end of the join. That way you have more control. If you hold it too near the end, it will flop around. In the middle, it's got nice control. Okay, we're going to look at two cutting techniques. The first one is called the bridge and the second one is used in a fork. And we're going to cut up some fruits today. These are all fruits that the Anglo-Saxons used. They would have been much smaller, like these apples would have been tiny and things like that, and not as sweet as well. And these are all fruits that the Anglo-Saxons would use in the autumn, and strawberries are a fruit they'd use in the summer. We get them all year round now, which is very different. So let's have a look at the first technique called the bridge. I'm making a bridge there with my thumb and finger. I'm then using the knife in between my bridge. Do you see? My fingers were nowhere near, couldn't be harmed, so that's all good. Let me show you the bridge again using a plum, and I'll just show you how to cut it. If you look, there's a stalk, you'll be able to see, and I want you to cut through this stalk. Okay, cut in this direction. You see the bridge I'm making with my fingers, and I'm rotating the plum, and then I twist it, and then I can see inside is the stone. I'm going to use my knife again to score around it with the bridge technique, and I can pop out the stone. Fantastic. Then I'm ready to use my bridge again to chop it up. Now, there's not just one cut for this one, there's several. So you might not feel as confident using the bridge method. In this case, you can use the fork and you can just poke the fork in and chop it up, almost like you would do eating your dinner maybe. So let's put things in a pile, neaten it all up. Let's have a look at this strawberry. So I'm using the bridge and I'm using that to cut the end off. Then I'm turning it over, using the bridge again, slicing it in half with the bridge. If I want to chop this up smaller, I can use the fork if I'm not confident to use my bridge to do smaller bits. Okay, let's have a look at this apple. Again, you cut through where the stalk would be. And you can see there we've got the core, which we're going to need to remove. So I use my bridge again, and this time I'm going to use the fork to put it in place so I can hold it in place, and then I can run my knife down the core to get rid of that because you don't want to eat that bit. Now I'm ready. I can use my bridge or I can use the fork to chop up little bits of apple. There we go, look, using my bridge there. And now I'm going to show you how I can use my fork. And you don't have to do straight lines. You might want to chop it in different shapes and things, and that's fine. And you can still do that with the fork. Not a problem at all. There we go. Let's now cut up blueberries. You wouldn't normally cut up blueberries, but the whole point of this exercise is actually your knife skill. So we are going to cut blueberries up. When you've got some fruits that you enjoy and would like to eat, I want you to put them in a bowl. I don't want any waste though. Look, there's half a strawberry here. So share them. If you want some strawberries, say to someone else on your table, or would you like some of this strawberry as well? We do not want food waste. That's a terrible thing. So they go into your bowl. We don't have any fruit or pieces of fruit thrown away, apart from things like cores and leaves. But all the bits of fruit need to be shared and split up between each other. You only need a little bit of fruit because it's the topping to your oat cake. Now, when you have finished doing your chopping, you need to tidy away. The first thing you do is always put your knife back into its protective cover. That makes sure it's safe. And then we're ready to decorate without having cut our fingers, We've got our fruits. Our teacher will be cooking our oatcakes for us next. Once we've got our oatcake, we can arrange all our lovely fruits on top, making it look good. Remember, it's about making it look delicious. Then we can sample it and see what we think of this Viking speciality of fruit on top of oatcake.